When it comes to trading futures, you don't need a lot of different strategies to trade. No matter what nobody's probably told you, you really only need one. Okay. And you want to really zero in on that. You want to master that strategy and make it work in your favor. Spend time back testing and forward testing. What does that mean? That means going into simulation or demo and using like a market replay tool to go back on your charts, look for certain setups, all surrounding the strategy in which trying to tackle and trade the future markets with. Say, for example, the ES futures. Some of you may trade the micro, some of you may trade the standard E-mini versions of the ES futures, all right? So, and there's a variety of different contracts or instruments or markets you can trade as well when it comes to trading futures. But I do want to say this. You need to find a strategy that's going to work for you day in and day out. Don't jump from one strategy to the next. Because when I first started trading and I'll say when I first started dabbling with the idea of trading and became more passionate about it, I was using, looking at one strategy, then trying to use, basically juggling multiple strategies at one time, trying to, not say merge, but what happened was that when I was trying to use one particular strategy, I found myself, using other strategies right behind that and not sticking to the basis of just one thing and trying to perfect that. That's the thing about trading. The number one piece of advice or a piece of advice I can give you, a tip, is really hone in on one particular system of trading and master that strategy. I'm not saying you can't move on down the road and maybe, tag on another strategy or two. But you should have your go-to strategy each and every day. I say 15 years ago, when I first really started trading and looking into the markets, I struggled my first 2 years because I failed to be able to, systematically understand or try to determine the actual trend, trying to determine which way I really needed to trade. And that all brings back into fold the one concept that you hear me talk about a lot is market structure. I will not stop not stressing that specific topic ever on this channel because it is truly, truly, truly the most important concept if you really want to make it and become profitable day trading. Now, you have to be consistent. You have to be patient. If you are a very impulse trader, I don't care what strategy you use, it's not going to work for you because you're going to be chasing the market 9 times out of 10. I'm going to say 10 out of 10 times, okay? Because you feel like you always need to be in an actual trade. You don't need to. Sit back, sit on your hands, step away from the machine, the charts if you need to, mark your levels, step away, and then come back. One strategy will help you become profitable, will help you make money, whether you want to do this on a full-time basis or a part-time basis. This is a very good career that you can make for yourself, all right? Just as I have, all right? Now, what actually helped me grow my actual account was one specific strategy as a whole. And I first started off trading like the ES, okay? And I still trade today, but it's just such a thick and slow-paced moving market. So not saying my patience were thin, but I just kind of like look at the NASDAQ now, and I, for one, am looking to get out of the market and be done within an hour's time frame. Sometimes with the ES futures or the micro ES, you're going to have to stick it out and wait it out for, certain zones to be developed, okay? Because I trade supply and demand. And the strategy and how I trade, which I've shared so much in a broad spectrum here on the channel, it's all centered around multi-chart confluence using range bar charts, okay? 13 years ago is where I really started to become more profitable. All right, I really started to master a specific strategy and style of trading, okay? Something that I came up with using the range bar charts. It all starts with just using a higher base range chart, whatever that may be, okay? And then marking up your supply and demand zones off the higher base chart first. I'm going to say that again. Use a higher range bar trading chart, okay? Determine what the trend is. Determine what structure looks like, trade in the direction with structure, follow that structure, and mark off your supply and demand zone. So if we're moving to the upside and trending, then you want to be looking for key areas of demand setups to trade from. When the market is bullish and making higher highs and higher lows, that's what we want to be trading with. In that direction, mark off your demand zones. Okay, I'll show you an example right quick. All right, so you see how the market was very bullish to the upside right here. We have this high here. Then the market starts making these lower lows and lower highs. Then we have a low here. But then To me, overall, the market is still bullish. So I'm looking to see if the market is going to start breaking structure back to the upside, even if it's minor areas of structure. Highs, higher lows, highs, higher lows, higher highs. Okay, it makes a high right here, then it dips back. It never breaks below this major low, pretty much. Okay, but it does go up there and it takes out slightly this high here, leaving behind an area of demand right here. Okay, so I would be interested in trading at this area of demand if the market reacts off of it. But what I'll do is I'll mark it up off of my higher range chart on the ES futures, okay, or the micro ES. Then I'll move down to a lower chart, lower bar chart. And you can do the same thing if you're trading time, tick, or volume charts just as well. But it all starts with using your higher base chart, getting the trend right, getting the direction right in accordance to structure, marking your charts up first on your higher range charts or higher charts, whatever that may be, and then using a lower base chart to find a more refined entry point. I talk about this strategy a lot here on my channel, and really more so within the private community for all the elite and the ultra elite supporters. And if you want to join that, there is a link down in the description portion of the video. I'll talk more about that towards the end because it may be something you really be interested in, because that's the blueprint and the cornerstone that I talk about in the strategy that covers how I became profitable, how I to this day use the same strategy that works, all trading and using range bar charts. Okay. Now, again, I'm using a higher base chart, find the zone, and then scaling down from there. This systematic way has worked for me year after year after year and has allowed me to become a profitable trader. Now, I'm not a swing trader. I'm not a position trader. I scalp. I'm looking for quick ins and quick outs to make my points and be done with trading each and every day. Okay. So you may have a goal, whatever that goal may be. Maybe it's $500. Maybe it's $1,000. Maybe it's $250. Whatever it is that you may have a go in making funds or money each and every day, you can definitely do it, but you need a strategy that's going to unfold for you, one that you can master, one that you spend time on the charts. Back testing and forward testing. What's the difference? Back testing means that you're going back after the market closes, for example, using a market replay and looking at the prior day session or that day session, and then allowing the market to play. All right, and replay, and then looking to see if you can identify and trade within that session. All right, it's not live. Forward testing means basically you are doing demo or simulation during the market session when the session is actually opened up. Okay, all right. But this is what has allowed me to become specifically profitable over the last 13 years of my trading. Now, I've been doing this 15 years, but my first 2 years, it was a learning curve for me. All right. Some of you, it may take sooner or later, or it could take longer. Okay. Just depending on your trading style and yourself and your personality type. And people don't believe that, but a lot of people have surrounding issues that they don't realize until they actually start to, come up or butt up against a brick wall or something as massive as trading. Trading can be very simple if you understand systematic rules, follow certain, rule sets for yourself, maybe your trading plan, but have a certain system in place that you can trade with each and every day, and don't deviate from that. If you got something that's working for you, stick with it day in and day out. What happens with a lot of people is they start to mix up so many different things, and then they get confused, and then they start making errors, and then it starts costing them with their account. Okay. Now, as another example, I'm going to show you like a supply here. If there was a supply set up, what does that mean? That's where the market is really breaking structure or coming to the downside. Like right here, we can see we made a high right here. The market then starts making these lows, lower highs, lows, lower highs, lows. So we're in a channel to the downside right here. We make a low, the market goes back up and makes a high. We take out and break this major structure point here, coming to the downside, and it left behind a nice area of supply right there when it broke that major structure point. Again, running to the upside, we have a high. Okay. Then we start making these lower lows and lower highs when the market starts running lower. We have a low here. The market makes a high, higher low, and then it makes a high right here. So now we're in between a high, a low. So these are two major points right here. Major high, major low. It makes a high, but then we come down here instead of pushing higher to basically aim to take out more structure going to the upside, meaning maybe breaking minor areas of structure going to the upside, and then we take out the major high. We come down here and we break this major low right here. Okay. So that breaker structure right here, pull back, key area of demand. aggressive selling, and you can look to go short, but not off the higher range. We mark up the higher range chart first, and then we scale down to a lower range chart or a lower chart, whatever your preference may be, and then look for an opportunity when the market creates a supply setup to go short with the direction of the market. So I just showed you two examples, like one being demand setup, one being a supply setup. But what I want you to really focus in on is the imperative nature of structure, okay? Because market structure is what's going to help to identify what is the direction in which you should be trading from. Trust me when I say this, because if you do not understand nor know the direction to trade, then you're taking trades in the dark. You're trading blind. Understand that, okay? But this is what has helped me actually grow my account from month to month, year to year, and that is the thing you really want to do as a beginner trader. Anyone watching this, is compound. Don't start like making money and then withdrawing it all. Allow your account size to build up and take a percentage of that, whatever that may be for you and yourself each and every, if you want to do it every other week, once a month. Whatever it is that you set up for yourself as far as a payout system. But compounding a small account is what is important as well, because the more you start to compound that account over time, the more you're going to be able to see that you're going to have capital or funds to be able to trade with. All right, it's no fun trading with a limited amount of funds or small amount of money, because you have to really prove to yourself that you can be consistent enough to make that account grow, because you can just as well blow that account very, very, very quickly. Okay, so when you first start off with a small account, be very frugal, be very patient. Maybe take just one trade a day. Allow that account size to grow. Once you get it up over a couple of months, and that's the thing too. When you'll know when you are doing the right thing, especially when your account starts to grow and starts to compound. You found something that actually works, and that's where I go into like the breakdown of the strategy here on my channel in that private community that I talked about earlier. For all those that choose to become like an elite or an ultra elite supporter, that is the cornerstone. That's where you're going to find the cornerstone, the blueprint to how I actually trade, because I share with you in detail my trade setups where I break down each one of my trades. So if you're a part of the Discord, and if you're not, the link is down in the description portion of the video. There's a channel on there called the Trading Floor. I, as myself and other fellow traders who are part of the Discord, I post my trades that I take on a daily basis, but then I'll go back and I'll break them down in detail, because I make video content surrounding my trades. Why? Because I use it more so like an educational purposes, in the sense of letting you know my mindset of why I took those trades, breaking things down surrounding the strategy as a whole, because that's what I have found that has helped so many people who are, part of the community, who have found success in passing these prop firm evaluations and challenges, and then some maybe trading with their own capital. And yes, there is a testimonial section part or channel on the Discord. You click on it and you'll see, comments and things that people have left, good things about the strategy and them using it for themselves. But if you want to become an elite or an ultra elite supporter of the channel, the link is down in the description portion of the video. Okay, find it, click on it. You'll see how inexpensive it is to really join. Okay, seriously, it's very, very inexpensive, but you receive so much valued content surrounding the cornerstone, the blueprint to how I trade. So for example, if you want to become an elite supporter, right, you receive all my trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, plus a great video detailing market structure. Okay, market structure is everything. People always claim and talk about the holy grail, or they have the holy grail to trading. Market structure is the holy grail. That's what you need to master if you want to understand how to do this stuff the correct way. The strategy's next, but I bring into fold both structure and the strategy. Okay, so again, if you want to become an elite supporter, again, the link is down below. If you want to become the ultra elite supporter, click the same link down below in the description. What you receive by becoming an ultra elite is everything I just mentioned: the trade breakdown videos, the video playlist, the market structure video, plus all my live recorded trading sessions that I post. Okay, so that is enough valuable content that should definitely point you in the right direction, that should help answer questions that you may have, that should share with you a specific strategy that goes in so much detail over and over and over about the style and how I trade. Okay, surrounding, and I use the same strategy. I just don't use it on the ES futures. I use it across the NASDAQ futures, gold futures. It works on, it don't matter if you even trade Forex. It works on so many different markets out there, okay? So I want to share that with you. The link is down in the description portion of the video if you choose to become or want to become an elite or an ultra elite supporter. But this same strategy is what has unfolded or helped me grow just a very, marginal small account when I first started to, exponentially over time. All right. And that's the thing. You want to focus in on that. Growth in seeing what takes place in a small account is what's going to basically continue pushing you to give you that drive and that passion to know that you can continue doing this each and every day. So I'm going to leave you with that. Now, if you haven't taken the time to subscribe to the channel, please do so by subbing down below. Click that subscribe button. It's free. Make sure to turn your post notifications on. What does that mean? Click the bell as soon as you hit the subscribe button. And last but not least, if you found some value in today's video, if you haven't already done so, make sure to drop me a like by clicking that thumbs up button. Take care, everyone, and I hope everyone out there who traded today had a successful day.